Welcome to Storytime MDCPS. My name is Jacqueline Basayo, and today I am going to read to you The Circus Family Dog. So the title of the book is Circus Family Dog. The author, the person who wrote the book, is Andrew Clements. And the illustrator, the person who drew the pictures, is Sue Truesdell. So a circus is like a big show with clowns and trained animals, musicians, dancers. So this book is about a dog who's part of the circus. He's a circus family dog. His name is Old Grumps, and he's the main character in the story. So let's find out what happens with Old Grumps at the circus. Circus Family Dog. The circus is like a big family, and Old Grumps was the family dog. Do you have a pet, a dog at home, or a cat? Give me a thumbs up if you do. So Old Grumps is part of the circus family. The show traveled from town to town, each night under the big top. The clowns came rushing in. Out in the center of the ring, Red the Clown lit the flaming hoop. See, this is the flaming hoop. It's like a big giant hoop with fire. And a lot of times the performers would jump through the hoop. There was a drum roll. And the audience shushed and hushed. The clowns yelled, "Come on, Old Grumps, you can do it, boy! Jump, jump!" Grumps looked at the hoop and crouched low. I'm looking at this picture and I'm listening to the words and I'm thinking, I think Old Grumps is gonna try to jump through the flaming hoop. And then Old Grumps yawned and he closed his eyes and he lay down with his feet up in the air. That was his trick, his one and only trick, and the children loved it. So Old Grumps did not jump through the hoop. Instead, he laid there and he closed his eyes, and that was his trick. The clowns yelled and pushed and pulled until the old dog was back up on his feet. When Grumps yawned and closed his eyes and lay down again with his feet up in the air, the children laughed and he pointed and they screamed, "Jump, Grumps, jump!" Then, while everyone clapped and cheered, the clowns laid Grumps on his wagon and they pulled him slowly out of the big top. And the old circus dog was happy. Can you show me your happy face? One day, the Red the Clown brought a new dog into the big top. His name was Sparks. Do you see him there? Sparks. Sparks could balance a ball on his nose. Let's do that like Sparks. Let's balance a ball on our nose. Sparks could climb a ladder on his hind feet, his back feet. Let's be like Sparks and climb that ladder. Sparks could ride on the back of a running zebra. Wow. So this new dog, Sparks, knows a lot of tricks. I'm looking here. Here's Sparks doing all his tricks, and look at Grumps. How would you feel if you were Old Grumps and you saw this new dog coming and doing all of these tricks? I know I would feel worried that maybe Sparks is going to take my place in the show. And one night, out in the center ring, when Grumps lay down with his feet in the air, Sparks jumped right over Grumps and into the burning hoop. "Hooray for Sparks! Hooray for Sparks!" the children screamed. Every night the audience laughed and they cheered for Sparks. And every night the clowns laid Grumps on his wagon and pulled him from the ring. Oh, so now the children are yelling for Sparks and not for Grumps. I wonder how he's feeling. When I look at this picture and I look at his face, he doesn't look very happy. Grumps wasn't happy. He was miserable. Miserable means very, very unhappy. So out behind the tent, Grumps worked day after day. Oh, he ran at the hoop and banged his nose. Banged his nose. He jumped at the hoop and bonked his head. He threw himself into the hoop and he scraped his belly. I'm looking at what is happening and I'm thinking, I think Old Grumps is trying to practice the trick so he can do the trick in the circus. At night, out in the center ring, Grumps yawned and closed his eyes and lay down with his feet up in the air. It felt so good to flop down. His bones ached and his eyes watered. He was too tired. He was too tired to care when Sparks jumped over him. But each day, Grumps kept on working. He kept trying and trying and trying the trick. The last day of the circus was the biggest show of the year. I wonder what's going to happen. The clowns came rushing into the tent and out into the center ring. Red the clown lit the flaming hoop, and there was a drum roll. Let me hear your drum roll. And the audience shushed and hushed. The clowns yelled, "Come on, Old Grumps, you can do it, boy! Jump! Jump!" Come on, tell him. Jump! Jump! Grumps did his trick, his one and only trick. And then Sparks leaped up over Grumps, up and through the flaming hoop. "Hooray for Sparks! Hooray for Sparks!" The trick was over, and Red the Clown leaned over to pat Sparks on the head. But the trick was not over. Not tonight. I wonder what's gonna happen next. I'm thinking tonight is the night that Old Grumps is going to try the trick where he's gonna jump through the flaming hoop. Give me a thumbs up if you agree. Grumps slowly stood up. He crouched and he ran and he jumped up and in and through the flaming hoop. He did it! And he landed right on Red the Clown. Down went Red and down went Sparks in a jumble of paws and wigs and floppy clown shoes. The crowd cheered, "Yay, Grumps!" And Grumps stood there in the spotlight, panting and bruised and aching all over, but happy. Red stood up and he clapped too, and Sparks wagged his tail. The circus moved on. There were more shows in other towns, but Old Grumps never jumped through the flaming hoop again. Yet every single night, Grumps got his fair share of the smiles and the cheers. Red the Clown and Sparks make sure that he did. And why? Because the circus is like a family, and Old Grumps was the family dog. The end.